Okay, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. And double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation you Akim out there that's pushes word in truth and sincerity. You know, hey man, we in the year of 2019, the year of Karagma. And we have prophecies coming to pass left and right. We have the situation going on still in Venezuela. Now in Norway, you know, and there's a, let me just say this, there's a crisis with the food situation, you know, throughout the world, man. Because we got 8 million salmon that wash up on the shores of Norway dead from algae. Ask me how that happened, only the Lord knows, man. Then you have floods that destroyed over 1 million acres of crops and vegetation and animals over in Argentina. Then we come to the shores of America and you see what was going on a couple of weeks ago. You know, may I add that there was floods, you know, over in Wyoming, Nebraska. And Nebraska is a state where they produce a lot of beef. You know, just as well as Texas. So it's a worldwide food shortage, and that's going to produce a sore famine. But before that famine come, food prices are going to jump to the roof, man. Esau is beginning to show his horns, and none of these things are being spoken about on the mainstream media. In order for you to find these things out, you have to go to alternative news sites to find out what's really going on throughout the four corners of the earth. The same thing with these wars and these rumors of wars. See, we're approaching the time of Jacob's trouble. We're approaching some heavy things that's going before you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's a part of the 2/3 Club. Hey, so, with that, I'm going to get into these scriptures. Abaratazah, I came out to be edified, man. Those that are sincere and want to learn. Because we're approaching that time, man. And we constantly warning y'all, telling y'all the things that's going to come to pass, man. But it goes in one ear and out the other. You know, you'll think that nothing is going to befall you, but Esau, the so-called white man, is sharpening his swords, man. Mock military drills here, mock military drills there. Jade Helm 15, Jade Helm 16, and any other mock military / martial laws drills that they're doing, man. They're not going to tell you. Esau, the so-called white man, is going to come in like a flood. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. Then said the Lord Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward these people. Moses represents the law, and Samuel represents the prophets. You see what I'm saying? It says, yet my mind cannot be towards these people. Ooh, the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that's into everything but these scriptures. You're into being Muslims, you're into being wacky-tacky Catholics, wacky-tacky Christians in these churches, you're into Buddhism, Kemet, you're into being homosexuals, lesbians, transgenderism, you're heavy into that. So you're not taking heed to the words of the Most High, man. That's why the Most High says his mind cannot be towards these people, the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. It says, cast them out from my sight and let them go forth. Let them go forth to where? To your destruction. That's what's fastly approaching you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans out there. That's a part of the 2/3 Club. And you Negroes that was a part of this thing of ours but fell out. Or got kicked out, now you're bucking up against the prophets. Bucking up against the true prophets and the elders and the apostles. So it says, and it shall come to pass if they say, unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, such as to be put to death by the hands of them cops out there, them Gurkha troops, another wicked ass nigga such as yourself. That's your punishment. It says, such as are for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword. Getting shot down by these police, man. Getting caught up in some kind of altercation, whether you be on the train, whether you be walking down the street, whether you that's, you know, you walking with your woman, you get into some altercation with some nigga you done did some shit to, and you get put to death, man, by the hands of the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. It could be various scenarios of how you get put to death, man. But such as for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such as for the famine to the famine. Because this is a food shortage coming, man. It's going to be a sore famine in the land of America, which is Babylon biblically. And then they're letting you know that over 1 million crops have been destroyed in Nebraska. A lot of cattle have been destroyed due to the floods in Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska is where they breed a lot of cattle, a lot of livestock. The floods in Wyoming, where they do a lot of breeding, a lot of crops being grown there, man. Then I tell you that the crops have been destroyed. What they're going to do is just raise the food prices. Then after they raise the food prices and get everybody up in the uproar, because they can't feed their belly, and at the very same time, the economy is collapsing. So all them goodies is going to fly out the window. No more SNAP program. No more benefits being laid out by Esau, the so-called white man, to helping people. It's going to be straight every man for themselves, man. And that's a part of that sore famine. That sore famine is coming. It says, and such as for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity, because once all hell break loose, man, and people start getting into an uproar because they can't, because the economy is collapsing, they can't get their money out the bank because the banks have been shut down. People are going to take to the streets, man. They're going to take to the streets. They're going to start riding, looting, burning things down. And that's when Esau, the so-called white man, is going to declare, he's not going to say martial law, he's going to declare a state of emergency, in which we are already in a state of emergency. Donald Trump, he declared us in a state of emergency about 2 or 3 months ago. And I haven't heard anything about it being uplifted. So therefore, that is going to give Donald Trump, the Trump administration, is going to make it fair game to him to declare martial law. Such as for the captivity to the captivity. What do you think the captivity is, man? Getting tossed head first into a concentration camp. Where you're going to be there being tortured, being offered the microchip. And if you don't take it, they're going to put your ass to death. They're going to deem you a terrorist because you're going against the system. So all hell going to break loose, man. It says, Jeremiah 15 verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord Yahweh, the sword to slay. A lot of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans going to get caught up in, getting put to death by Esau, by them Gurkha troops, them UN troops, Interpol, International Police Force, where them Edomites from different countries don't understand a lick of English, and you're not going to understand them. Chinese troops, all Russian troops, all these different Interpol agents, International Police Force. That's what Interpol mean. And they're going to be putting you to death, man, because you're not going to be complying with them. And I will. But this is back in Jeremiah 15 verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, because during that time you're going to have a lot of bodies laid out in the streets. And the Most High going to put the spirit on these animals to attack. Some spirits of vengeance, man, teeth of wild beasts. And we can't forget about them zoo animals that's going to be unleashed upon the city when all hell break loose. So them dogs going to tear right along with them zoo animals over there, man, in them different zoos. Central Park Zoo, Bronx Zoo, Brooklyn Zoo. It says, and the fowls of the heavens and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Them beasts of the earth, them lions, them cheetahs, them bears, all them zoo animals, man. Then you got in them zoos the vultures and all different kind of hawks. They're gonna devour much flesh, man. That's gonna be a feast unto them, man. All them carcasses laid out, man. From all them wicked ass niggas, Hispanics, Native Americans, Edomites, different people from different nations laid out, man. Due to this race war, riots, insurrection, martial law, all hell gonna be broken loose, man. And it says, verse 4, and I will cause them to be removed into all the key. That's going to something else. But and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy, man. And that's what's coming. Death and destruction and the sword and famine. All these things are coming, man. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? This is Ezra's talking, showing you that reincarnation is in the Bible, and reincarnation is definitely in existence, man. Because why would he say, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Because Ezra knows he's going to be standing back in his lot, man. Doing the same thing he was doing in the ancient world, teaching the word of the Most High, doing the work. Putting up videos. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. Because you're going to have a lot of people being sorrowful and great mourning, man. They ain't going to be able to feed their children because the economy is going to collapse. The economy is on the verge of collapsing. So therefore, they may declare a bank holiday. If you got all that money in the bank, how you going to get it out, man? And that's when they're going to establish that new system, which is going to be the RFID microchip. And the only way you're going to be able to keep that money that you have within that bank, you got to take that RFID microchip within your head, in your forehead, on your right hand, or your left hand. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't take it, you're going to be deemed a terrorist, or you're going against the system, and they're going to do you dirty. And these are some of the techniques they're going to use to do you dirty, man. Locking your ass up, torturing you, putting you to death, firing squad. That's the mornings. That's the morning, and let me read it again. 2 Ezra 16 verse 18. The beginning of sorrows, that's the sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine, when the economy collapses, it's going to be a worldwide food shortage. They're not letting you know that a bunch of crops, salmon crops, cattle is being destroyed. Get out of here. Salakia. It's being destroyed, man. But that's going to produce a sore famine. It says, and great death. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars. And you see what's going on to this very day. It's been almost, what, 18 years? 16 years? Since 2003, the United States government has been bogged down in Afghanistan. It's been perpetual war after war, breaking out, man. Yemen, Libya, Iraq, Venezuela, all type of coups going on, man. Now they threatening Iran to go up in Iran. Wars. It says the beginning of wars. And the powers shall stand in fear. Who's the powers, man? Starting with these international bankers, the different governments, because they know that they're approaching the end of their rulership, man. This is all prophecy. And you better believe them international bankers, starting with the Rothschilds and all these elites, they watch us, man. Just as the apostles said, they watch us and they know their time is up, man. So that's when the power's going to stand in great fear. And they see all these camps rising up. So they know, man. Only the peon crackers and you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that got your head jammed up these peon crackers' ass, y'all can't see what's going on, man. Because the Most High blinded y'all, man, where y'all won't be able to see, man. It says, the beginning of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? I know what I'm going to be doing. The Most High keep this spirit on me. Keep on going out there in the highways. And we ain't going to be going to the highways and the byways on these when all hell break loose. But I'm going to keep my trust and faith in the Lord, you know, and look for deliverance and salvation, man. Constantly praying. It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague. And we can't forget about the plagues, man. Esau, through the Most High, is bringing all these pandemics out here, all these plagues, you know what I mean? E. coli, Ebola, AIDS, the Black Death. So those are the pestilence that's going to go forth, man. So those that escape the sword and the famine, they're going to die from the pestilence, man. You're not going to escape the judgment of the Most High, man. The judgment of the Most High is coming quickly. And Esau, the so-called white man, is going to bring the pain. Pursuant to Ezekiel, the 21st chapter, the 9th verse on down, man, to the 12th verse. That sword is being sharpened. Why do you think he's sharpening that sword, man? For the day of martial law, for the day of Jacob's trouble. Because he's going to come in like a flood, like a madman, like the scriptures say. Them sorrows, death and destruction, famine and plague is coming. It says, behold, back in 2 Ezra 16 and 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for amendment. All these things that's going before you, Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, is for amendment, man, for correction. Catching hell. But guess what? You're not going to take heed, man, because you got that you've been blinded, man. You have not a clue what's going on. You're going to continue being homosexuals, continue being lesbians, continue dress up like women, dress up like men, men dress up like women, women dress up like men. You're going to continue being gangbangers. You're going to be continue out there committing adultery, sleep with other men, women. All these things are going to come upon you. You're not taking heed, man. The plagues, not being able to feed your family through famine. These are scourges, man, but y'all don't take heed to it, man. It says, verse 20, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, verse 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn away from their wickedness. Slack it. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. See what I'm saying? For all that pain and anguish and tribulation you're going through, you're not going to turn from, you're going to continue to pray to Allah. You're going to continue being Buddhist. You're going to continue indulging yourself in Kemet, being homosexual, being wicked as hell, man. You're not going to turn from your wickedness. You're going to continue being wacky-tacky ass Christians. Hey, death and destruction is coming, man. Tribulation and pain and anguish that's spoken about in 2 Ezra 8 and 50. Them great miseries. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Jacob's trouble. Revelation 12 and 12. Esau coming down having great wrath. 2 Ezra is the 16th chapter, the 70th verse, when it talks about Esau, the so-called white man, it's the 71st verse. They should be like madmen, sparing none. 2 Ezra 16 and 71. Amen. So death and destruction is coming, man. And those that's going to take heed, it's going to be 144,000 and 1/3. But the rest of the 2/3 are going to get caught up in that bullshit. Why? Because that's their punishment. That's their judgment. And after all that, the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are going to take that off of the microchip to be a part of the system. And you're going to fall right along with this system through thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots. So with that, hope you came out there was edified. Once again, we give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Akim.